Greetings, my brothers. This is Sean Blazington, and today I'm going to be telling you all about what happened with the Jimmy Butler trade. And I feel real bad for Jimmy because he was a real good guy. And he didn't deserve to get traded, but Rajon Rondo didn't deserve to get beat up the way he got beat up by Jimmy Butler. Don't get me wrong, he deserved to get beat up, but the way Jimmy put those hands on Rondo, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Needless to say, the Chicago Bulls are going to suck next season. There's no doubt about it. Lonzo Ball is in the league and everyone is shaking in their boots because this young man has skills. Check this out. Look at the passing ability. He's the best player on the team. The rest of those guys are booty crunch. And Dwayne Wade is still a good player, but he's no match for Mr. Lonzo Ball. And this is why Jimmy Butler beat the shit out of Rondo, because of this guy right here. The guy that's wearing number 2. Rondo told Jimmy that Lonzo is better than him. And Jimmy couldn't handle it because he knew it was the truth. And the way he beat up Rondo, it was like Rondo got beat up by a pack of wolves. And that's why the Bulls decided to send him to the Wolves, because he was such a savage the way he put those hands on Rondo. And then Rondo called up KG and Paul Pierce. Did this motherfucker just miss a dunk? Maybe he can't see past that big ridiculous beard. But anyways, Rondo called up KG and Paul Pierce, and they were going to jump Jimmy Butler. This is how the plan went down. Rondo got Kevin Garnett to tell Jimmy Butler to meet him in Minnesota so they could have dinner together and catch up together. A lot of you didn't know this, but Minnesota has the best soda in the world. There's something about their cherry Coca-Cola that just drives me crazy. And Jimmy Butler feels the same way, so when Kevin Garnett called him up and told him to meet him at the buffet, he was all for it. But he didn't know that Rondo and Paul Pierce was going to be there with Kevin Garnett, and they were going to jump him in front of the China buffet. It says here in my documents everything was going according to plan until somehow Big Baby Davis found out they were going to the buffet. Although Big Baby was uninvited, he invited himself to go to the buffet. He got his plane tickets, he flew out to Minnesota. When he got there, he didn't tell the guys he was there because he knew if they found out he was there, they were just going to tell him to go back home. So he booked a hotel room right next to their hotel room, and he was listening through the walls at their conversation. And he overheard Rondo tell Paul George and Kevin Garnett that they were going to jump Jimmy Butler. That's when Big Baby started to think to himself, if they jump Jimmy Butler in front of the buffet, that means we're not going to be able to go in and have dinner. Hold on, you guys, this man is on a mission. What are you going to do, Zach? Well, goddamn! Did you guys see that? Zach LaVine is going to be a beast next year. But where was I? Oh yeah, Big Baby Davis had to decide if he was going to let these guys ruin his dinner or was he going to do something to stop them. So the next day, Kevin Garnett was waiting in front of the China buffet for Jimmy Butler to show up. But when Jimmy showed up, the police showed up. Therefore, they weren't able to jump Jimmy Butler because the police was there. To make a long story short, Glenn Big Baby Davis called the police on his former teammates just so he can go into the buffet and enjoy his food. Nobody even invited him there. If Big Baby didn't call the police, Rondo, Paul Pierce, and Paul George would have beat the shit out of Jimmy Butler. And pay close attention because the story gets worse. It gets really, really worse. Oh look, Benny got the burner. Benny got the burner. Benny is really Derrick Rose. He puts on that suit and he's the mascot for the Bulls since he can't play basketball anymore. Like I was saying, the story gets worse. So Jimmy Butler is in Minnesota with a Chicago Bulls credit card. And when he goes to pay for his plane ticket to get back to Chicago, his Chicago Bulls credit card is canceled. Therefore, he was stranded in Minnesota. He didn't have any money and he had to find a job quick and fast. And the only job he could find is with the Minnesota Timberwolves. It was all a big setup. Since Rondo Paul George and Kevin Garnett couldn't beat up Jimmy Butler. They conspired against him with the Chicago Bulls and left him stranded in Minnesota. I'm telling you guys, as soon as Jimmy Butler gets some money, he's going back to Chicago. But anyways, I gotta get going. I would love it if you guys subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. This is your boy Sean Blaze, and always remember, there will be more.